In 1920, this photograph was found locked inside a wooden trunk. 4 men were identified. The 5th man? No birth record. Name? No history. And that's where things get strange. Everyone in this photo is human except one. Pause 2 sec. This photograph was taken more than a century ago. Early 1900s, somewhere in northern Minnesota. At first glance, it looks completely normal. 5 men standing side by side. Rural America. Simple clothing, calm expressions. Nothing unusual. But the longer you look, the more something feels wrong. Pause. The image was reportedly discovered in 1920, inside a locked wooden trunk, covered in dust, hidden among forgotten documents. There was no official record attached, no photographer's name, no exact date, no confirmed location, only a single handwritten sentence on the back. They said he was only a myth. Pause 3 sec. Who was he, and why would someone feel the need to write that? Pause. Researchers began examining the image more closely. 4 of the 5 men were eventually identified. Census records confirmed their names. Employment logs matched. Families were traced. They were real, documented, ordinary men of their time. But the 5th figure had no record, no birth certificate, no military registration, no tribal documentation, no employment history, nothing. It was as if he never existed. Pause, and then there was his appearance. He stood taller than the others. Not slightly taller, significantly taller. His shoulders were broader. His arms hung lower than they should. His hands appeared unusually large. And his eyes. Pause 2 sec. His eyes didn't reflect the light like the others did. Instead of shining from the camera flash, they looked dark, almost as if they had been light. Pause. But the most unsettling detail wasn't his height. It was the shadow. When the photograph was digitally enhanced decades later, analysts noticed something subtle. All 4 men cast shadows in the same direction. Consistent, logical, matching the light source. But his shadow was slightly misaligned. Not dramatically, just enough to feel wrong. Pause 3 sec. Was it an early camera distortion? A development flaw? A trick of perspective? Maybe. But then historians began looking deeper into local folklore. Northern Minnesota in the late 1800s was rich with stories. Stories of tall watchers in the forests. Beings who walked upright, but were not entirely human. They were not described as violent. Not aggressive. Just present. Standing beside men. Observing. Blending in. Listening. Pause. One particular legend speaks of the tall one who stands beside us, not hiding, not attacking, standing beside. Pause 2 sec. And suddenly the photograph feels different because the men standing next to him do not look afraid. No one appears alarmed. No one seems shocked. The young man closest to him actually appears calm, almost familiar, as if standing next to him was completely normal. Pause. So we're left with questions. If you didn't belong there, why did no one react? If he was just a tall man, why is there no record? If he was only a myth, why does he appear in a photograph? Pause 3 sec. Of course, there are rational explanations. It could be perspective distortion. Early cameras often created unusual proportions. It could be a rare medical condition. It could even be a staged photograph. Or perhaps the mysterious sentence was added later to create intrigue. That's possible. But here's what remains. The image existed. The 4 men were real. And the 5th man cannot be explained. Pause. History is not just written by what we record. It is shaped by what we choose to ignore. Pause 2 sec. So look at the image one more time. 4 confirmed humans. And 1 figure. Number archive can trace. Everyone in this photo is human. Pause. Except 1. Pause 4 sec end.